Welcome to ContenderCast, a global leadership and consumer industries entrepreneurship podcast centered on shining a light on bright ideas. And now, here's your host, Justin Hahnemann.
Thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in, thanks for downloading, so subscribing, following. It's Justin Hahnemann, ContenderCast. We're shining a light on bright ideas. We're in the consumer goods space today. The food space, kids, snacks. You're going to love this brand. I can't even wait. I was so looking forward to the interview as I was doing my homework. The brand Snakkidz, their founder and CEO is here. Steve is with us, Steve Weiss. Steve, so good to have you on the podcast.
Thanks, Justin. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I had so much fun, like I said, kind of researching the brand, and man, I'm so impressed by the reviews already, and your packaging and everything, and I can't wait to dive into all of that. Before we do that, though, how about share with our audience a little about you and your background before launching the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in digital marketing advertising about 15 years ago, and really worked my way up where I was director of sales. In my previous role before starting the company, I was at Amazon Ads for 3 years.
I love it. And so how do you decide, hey, I'm going to go launch a brand and it's going to be in the kids snack space? And like I was saying before we hit record, like you hadn't worked in food. So like, what did that look like?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. It was a little bit of divine planning from the universe on that one. So as I mentioned, I was in digital marketing advertising for 15 years and I was at Amazon. My cousins own a granola manufacturing company in Canada. Their parents owned it. They scaled it to be a very large company. And we ended up meeting actually at the Fancy Food Show in the Javits Center a couple of years back. And we were catching up, grabbing coffee. And my cousin's like, oh, what have you been up to? I told him, I do digital marketing advertising. I just recently started Amazon. And he goes, that's interesting. We've never had our own brand or successfully had our own brand. And we're looking to get in that space. So they manufacture granola products, bars, snacks, you name it. And so when we came together at the time, my son was 6 years old, and I said, I will do it, but I want to make sure it's something I want to give my child. With him in school and seeing what they feed them and his friends, it's, to be honest, from my point of view, it's a bunch of junk and crap. And so I wanted to kind of put something together that was a little bit better and healthier for them. And so we brainstormed, right? So I took my marketing background, my advertising background, and said, where is the opportunity with consumers? What would I want to feed my old son? And what are your strengths at building products? And we came together and created Snakkidz. And our organic chewy granola bars was our first product.
Wow. Love that. Love the name. You don't have to wonder what the company does. I was talking about this with another founder a couple hours ago. Like, you kind of know, right? And it's very appealing. It sounds great. You've got, like I said, already launched and got great reviews on Amazon. Talk about products. So you started off with the granola bar. What did that look like? How have things grown from there?
Yeah. So obviously when you make your own product, you think it's great. And then you ask family and friends and, that's kind of a trap because they're going to say, oh, it's great. We love it. Of
course.
So what we did was we launched on Amazon. We started with 3. We had chocolate chip, strawberry, and actually birthday cake. And when we launched, we really wanted to take 3 to 6 months and get the feedback from consumers. And what we found, which was a family favorite of the birthday cake, the consumers on Amazon were not enjoying it. So we actually took it off the market. We switched, we made Chunky Monkey, which is our chocolate banana, which is my personal new favorite. And we redid our strawberry. So as we went through the process, 1, we wanted to keep low sugar content.
Sure.
2, had to be fully allergen free. 3, we don't use any seed oil. So that was our base of how we're going to make the products. And then obviously we need to make it taste good for the kids or no one's going to want it.
Totally.
And then really listening to consumers and pivoting from there. So in the last 2 years, we've pivoted about 3 times to make it even a better product for them.
So and that's actually, you kind of beat me to the question. Like, talk about what some of those pivots have been. You mentioned, this product wasn't selling, replacing it with a different product. What other pivots? Yeah,
I would say that I think from a marketing perspective, the positioning, right? We know what we know. And so we, as the owner of the products, we talk maybe very too high or too in the weeds. So taking a step back and saying, okay, are our clients or customers registering this? Are they understanding what we're trying to portray? So looking at the marketing, looking how we're going to market with it, taking a step back, whether that's on the packaging, whether that's within the keywords, within the copy, just making sure that we relay our message to them so they see the value and they become customers.
Got it. I love that. And yeah, your marketing background, I'm sure, is super helpful. For those that haven't already checked it out, check out snakkidz.com. It's snakkidz.com. You can also, of course, check it out on Amazon. Lots of great, like I said, I'm amazed at the reviews, and we've talked about this on many other interviews. Like, you can't go buy reviews, as you know. Like, you can't send out a note to all your friends to go put a review on the product, or the product will get, suspended. So how have you guys done such a good job of like moving volume and then getting customers to come back and leave reviews?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think part of it was just creating awareness on Amazon, right? So doing things like sponsor brand, sponsor product, and that's just to promote it. So when someone searches for a specific keyword, we started very niche too. So our audience, to me, is any parent that has kids 2 to 12, right? So that's a very wide audience. But when we first started, we wanted to start smaller and more niche. So we really looked at the allergen-free space, right? So if you have nut allergies, you have gluten allergies. So we would use those keywords to make sure that anybody searching for that with intent, we would show up because we are a great product and a great solution for them and their family. So that's how we really got there. And then one thing that we try to do, look, I don't care what you sell. There's going to be someone out there that doesn't like your product. It's just going to happen, right? Yeah. So what we try and do is, we stand by our product. If anybody leaves a 1, 2, or 3-star review, I'm allowed to respond to that directly to them. I always do. I fully refund them because if the product wasn't for them, I want to make sure they get their money back. And then on top of that, I ask, like, if there's anything else we can do, we would love for you to potentially look at updating that review from a customer service perspective, right? So I think it's just having great customer service for the people that don't like our product, and the ones that do, we really appreciate every time they leave a review, because ultimately we're trying to educate parents and families on better options for their kids. And as you know, on Amazon, reviews are the best way for more parents to find it.
Yeah, no doubt. What's the top sellers, and what's, 1 or 2, if there are some that haven't worked out?
Yeah. So I would say, the birthday cake didn't work out. So we quickly pivoted and removed that. We're not going to sit there and give a product that customers aren't liking. And one thing we found was when we first launched, we just had our 3 different flavors in a 15-pack. And we knew we had to get there, but we wanted to prove it first. So then we launched our variety pack. So it's a 45-count variety pack. That is by far our best seller. And it makes sense, right? You have 1 plus kids in the house. Plus, if you're like me, you eat your kids' snacks because they taste good. So the parents are eating it. The 45-pack usually lasts about a month. It has different varieties, so everyone can have a little bit of different flavors. So that is typically about 50 to 60% of our sales.
I love that. Looking ahead, what do you see in the next 6 to 12 months? What are the keys to growth?
That's a great question. So the first year before we went into retail, we wanted to make sure that we had a good product. So we actually did launch in December in Costco. We went across 111 Costcos across the Bay Area.
Amazing, dude. Texas. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so our rotation ended in April, went really well. So we're continuing conversations there and other retail partners. We went to Expo West. We're going to Fancy Food. So this is the year we're really trying to scale and get a retail so more of our customers can find us. Not everyone wants to shop on Amazon. The other avenue that we're really driving from an e-commerce online perspective is we're launching TikTok Shop.
Oh, very good.
We have that now, and we really want to partner with different affiliates. I think the mission isn't just, hey, we want a better better granola bar, a better snack for you and your kids. It's actually help educating parents in why it's better, how you can make choices outside just a granola bar, but when it comes to everyday snacking or even cooking at home or going out. Little choices add up to big results. And that's something that we want to help educate parents on.
I love that. Like, talk about what some of the differentiators are with your product. Like, what is that value proposition for you all? You can list a couple of them. That would be great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one is allergen free. And we mention it, one, because that's inclusive, so everybody can have it. But on top of that, for example, my son doesn't have allergies, but you can't bring any nuts products to school. So even though there might be a healthier choice, you can't bring in if it has any of that. So we want to make sure that everyone not only can have it, you can bring to birthday parties, traveling, but also bring it to school. 2, we're lower sugar. So we either have 5 or 6 grams, where in this space our competitors are 10 or higher.
Wow.
We still taste sweet. We're still good. Kids like us, but we're not overdoing it. And then something that I'm really passionate about and I think is important is there's no seed oils. So we use avocado oil. And you may say, well, seed oils aren't that bad. I agree. Nothing's that bad in limited quantities. But if you go into the store and you look at the packages and you go to the restaurants and look at what they use, there is seed oils and everything. So if you think about 3
Sure.
meals a day and then snacks, and then you think of 7 days a week and three, you know what I mean? It adds up. So for us,
Adds up
we
in a
want to
hurry.
take that out of it and not include it at all.
I love that. How are you driving trial? People to learn about your brand and experience the product.
Great question. So we're trying to go to as many trade shows as possible where we go into subscription boxes. So we're giving it out. For us, we know we have a great product and we know that people enjoy it when they get it. It's just about getting it in front of them.
Sure.
So we use advertising, we use social media, we use influencers, but ultimately from a cost perspective and trying to grassroots it, it's about going out there and handing the bar out. I'll go to my son's school's PTA. I'll reach out to other schools and we'll donate it and give it to them, or they can use money to raise. It's about how can we get this in parents' hands and kids' hands because we know that they'll enjoy it.
Wow, love that. You're still early days. As we talked about before we hit record, I had said 9 months. You're about 2 years in. What have been some of the biggest lessons learned in launching a brand in the food space that you'd share with some of our other entrepreneurs that are listening?
Patience.
I'm not good at that, as I said again earlier. Crazy.
I'm not either. And when I mean patience, I mean in a couple things. First off, as you know, there's going to be ups and downs. It's just continuing to push through. And what's the next step? How do we continue going on your roadmap to where you want to go? But for me, coming from digital advertising and marketing, I've worked with thousands of brands from startups to Fortune 500 companies. And when I use advertising, I see results very quickly. Well, that's because they're an established brand. As a non-established brand, when we were first starting, I thought our results would come so much quicker than they did. So it was really a test of patience and saying, okay, stay the course. How do we continue to build the brand as we continue to advertise and market?
Got it. I love that. That's great advice. Who came up with the name Snakkidz? Like I said, it's very catchy and it's like you don't have to wonder what it is.
So great question. So one thing we wanted to do is we want to make sure exactly you knew what the brand was.
I didn't have to look. I kind of knew.
2, we wanted something that we could trademark, right? And the likelihood that was going to get passed. So I'm not going to lie, the longest, it took us 6 months to launch because we didn't know the name. Wow. And we went back and forth and we reviewed the likelihood of it getting passed. So luckily the trademark did get passed and we're all good there. And the name worked out perfectly, right? The Snakkidz, we go out there, everyone knows what it is, it's catchy, and it really fits our branding. So from our point of view, when we ask about how we started and why we got in this space, not only did we have that connection with my cousins, but you go to the grocery store and all the unhealthy products are marketed to kids. There's cartoons, it's fun colors, it's really to pull them in. Where some of the healthier options, the coloring, the branding, it's more marketed towards the parents. We wanted the healthy option, but still marketed to kids so they still find it fun. Snack time doesn't have to be a bore, and that's really where we came to solve a solution.
I love that. As we wrap up today, I really appreciate you being here. I'm excited for where you are, where you're headed. Like you already have such good momentum early days, and I know you're trying to get into broader retail and whatnot. Where can our audience connect with you, find you, buy product, etc.?
Yeah, we're on Amazon. We're on snakkidz.com, Snakkidz. You could always, if you are a buyer and interested or anyone has a question, Steve, STEV, at snakkidz.com. Reach out to me. And we're also on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You'll find us.
Everywhere. Steve Weiss, CEO, co-founder at Snakkidz. Dude, you got to come back on down the road. Like this is early days. I want to help tell the story as you continue to grow the brand and really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thanks, Justin. Really appreciate it.
The Contender Cast is powered by Contender Brands and is the top global consumer industries entrepreneurship podcast. You can find additional Contender Cast episodes on worldwide podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartMedia, YouTube, and other preferred podcast platforms. If you would like to be a guest on the Contender Cast, connect with us at contendercast.com. This is Brian Benson reminding you that every winner started as a contender.